My name is Ka. I will be representing Becamex group to share with you a little bit about the topic that is presented on the slides. But before we get into the details, you may wonder why, Becamex is involved, how relevant we are. So I twisted the topic a little bit. Can we open the slide? Right, so for Becamex, we build industrial parks. Then inside of our industrial parks, we host 2,000 manufacturing companies. A lot of them have been working with us for 20, 30 years. They have been relying on labor-intensive manufacturing processes. Now they need to change, right? So I think the relevance in my topic to the target audience today will be how do we assist you in scaling your business in Vietnam, primarily through the industrial parks that we have developed in the country. So can you raise your hand? How many of you would like to access or already access the market or think that Vietnam is potential for automation? Yeah, I think most of us do agree with that. That's the reason why we are here, right? So let's look at the scale. We want to scale our business up, right? So this is our footprint in Vietnam. So we have been doing this one for 30 years. We have a total of 28 industrial parks across the country, from the north to the central and in the south. We started over 30 years ago in Ho Chi Minh City, in the north of Ho Chi Minh City, in a province we formerly called Bình Dương province. Right? After that, we expanded. We would target to add approximately 10 more industrial parks in our system in the coming years to 2030. A lot of them would be very familiar to you. It's a joint venture between us and Semcorp called Vietnam Singapore Industrial Parks. We do provide about 1 million jobs. We do host about 2,000 investors. The key point here is our investors would be primarily foreign direct investments. So I believe that most of you here, you are trying to sell your system, your services, your solutions. And the easiest adopter would be FDIs. I'm not saying that locals are not doing the automation, but we would like to target a low-hanging fruits first, right? So that's the reason why I'm here, just to share with you a little bit about what we do, what we are, the overall market and such, right? So this is the map from north to south. So for our strategy, we have grown from a very traditional industrial cluster. We advanced to integrated townships, where we not only build factories, we add in commercial services and apartment buildings and so on. Now we think that is not good enough. The latest model that we are adopting now, which would be very relevant to you here, is the science and technology industrial parks, where we would attract mostly high value added manufacturing companies who would need a lot of automation and need a lot of integrated services. Right, so this is our current model. Let me stop introducing our company and let's go into the automation outlook. Special thanks to Mr. King and Trish for bringing me over here and giving me a very hard job. I mean, we are not in automation, right? We are industrial park developer. But after we look into the request, we see that, I think we are missing that part, right? We haven't actually consolidated all the information or requests from our customers. So since the request a couple of months back, we started to go back to our database and collecting multiple sources of data to combine a very comprehensive statistics. We would like to show you to you here. So let's go with the macro first, right? So in terms of FDI registration for last year, that will be $38 billion, okay? Slightly increased from 2024. We do have about $27 billion disbursed. Now, about 54% of them would be FDI in manufacturing. So we are looking at what? $21 billion worth of new investment only in manufacturing. Some of them would go into our industrial parks, right? So if you look further, you can see that Vietnam continue to grow rapidly. So we are looking at about 8%, or our government is proposing a two-digit growth, right, across all of the following plans for the period from 25 to 30. Now we are looking into the growth of manufacturing approximately 10%, right? So that's the two-digit growth. And the FDI sources are primarily coming from Singapore, mostly Eastern countries. But we do see the increase of the investment from European countries, especially Denmark. And most of the Danish investment would be in our industrial parks. We are looking into Lego, Pandora, and so on, right? So it will look into the industrial automation. Now, this is a very complex industry, right? So if you pick data from different sources, you get different content. But we are looking into only industrial robotics and automation. So we are looking into a 10% growth year on year over to 2030. And then we are looking at a $4 billion industry. Okay, so that's potential. Some key drivers would be the mandate from the government to drive Industry 4.0 adoption. So that has been going strong, right? So again, that's how we look at the market. And then we will look into various statistics. You are seeing that a lot of industries are having low to moderate adoption of automation and robotics. One of our largest industry, electronics, of course, you need a lot of automation. But maybe perhaps another industry that we can look at is textile and garment, where the adoption is low, but the scale of the market is big. I talked to a few spinners and fabric manufacturers and even garment manufacturers. They do have new strategies, and they need to work around the need of labor, right? So even though for garment, the hardest part of that supply chain where you need a lot of people, they still because of involve a lot of complex processes, they still need to use robotics, automated system in their lines. We do have a few good companies who already adopted those solutions in our industrial parks and in the neighboring provinces, right? We are looking into, of course, the representative from KUKA has shared very wonderful statistics of the industry. So I'm not getting, again, into electronics and automotives. Now, what do we do? For us, we also talk to companies to learn their pain points. So at the moment, at Becamex, we do have a university. The university has the benefits of being a neutral place that we can access to companies easier. So we have been rolling out projects with over 65 companies in these industries. And the statistics on the right-hand side represent their needs, our clients' requests. So if you look into it, there are three phases that we usually think about. The first phase is digitalization, where we would digitally connect it over the machines. The next part is connectivity, where we actually use AMR and other robotics, robot arms to connect the production processes. Now, those two combined would represent about 95 to 98% of our current requests that we're receiving from our clients. AI is there, but it's not getting picked up very, very quickly. But that is just us, right? So we target companies in our industrial parks only. It doesn't speak to the whole ecosystem in Vietnam, but it does give you an idea of how ready companies are to adopt technologies, right? If you're looking into two things, visualization and integration, so those would be really high, especially in integration, where we would bring in not only software, but the hardware and connect everything all together. Okay. Right, so that is the trend. Those are the opportunities that we have in the market. What do we do about it? How do we leverage these opportunities to realize, to turn them into the actual benefits for Becamex and for our clients, right? So we are looking into the partners who share the mutual goals with us. And clearly here today, Gradient has been our partner for 2 years, and we share the same vision. we would like to help our clients in the industrial park to improve or upgrade their technologies. So Guardian comes in, work with us. We are planning on working on multiple seminars to introduce the technologies and solutions across the industrial parks that we have, so like a roadshow, right? So pick the one that can go with you in a longer term. So that's why we are here. Becamex are committed to be working with you to scale your business up. We can target our industrial parks first, and we can roll it out to other parts of the country. Now, a little bit about us. We have about 25 companies under our group, running almost in everything. But we started mostly from industrial estate developers. So we start from building industrial parks. Then from our customer demand, we start to plug in services, right? We start to build commercial area. We start to build hotels. We start to build hospitals. We start to build universities. So those are the added services that we provide our clients with, right? And the major part of that would be on the right-hand side, where we would like to collaborate with you in the innovation services that we are providing to our clients. We are not a technological company. We are not very good at developing software and hardware and connect them. But we do have support system and programs that we can bring in some of you to work with us to really look into the problems that our clients having. And then we, push it further, right? So these are some highlights, some companies that we have under our group. So we have the World Trade Center to promote businesses. We understand automation requires energy. And usually we are looking into automation, its own energy. So we would not only provide the energy from the grid, we have our own energy company that do PPA or solar installation. We are even thinking about LNG. We look into green energy, so we look into LNG, solar farms. Those are the requests from our clients. So we do have this thing in place because we think that in the next 5 years, the demand for energy is going to be picked up, right? We do have urban development, VSIP, ready-built factory, university, hospital, and a telecom company, right? So again, but the market is much bigger than that. So we would need you to work with us, those solutions providers to work with us in this long journey. So we do have a lot of places to target. Where should we start? All right, so it has to be when you invest, right? You start from one place and then you scale it up, right? Just to give you a bigger picture, it looks a little bit messy and complex, right? So last month, January 15, we launched a mega project we call a Science and Technology City in the northern side of Ho Chi Minh City, where there will be the central area for all of the R&D, for automation, for all of the digitalization, Industry 4.0, and so on, so that we can scale it out to the surrounded industrial parks. That would be here. This is the area, right? This is the area. This is the center of Ho Chi Minh City. It's so grounded. So the government has the plan to move the industrial area to our area. So if you are looking into the Science and Technology City, we are surrounded by 7 industrial parks. Think about it. We have thousands of companies in our industrial parks, and that area is surrounded by so many companies. And we do put a lot of investment in place to make sure that we can drive the growth. Okay. Now, maybe you will be worried about transportation, commuting time, right? You don't want to spend 2 hours. Well, I spent 1.5 hours going from there to this event this morning. I started at 8 o'clock and I get here about 9:30 and 10 o'clock, right? So we don't want to do that, right? 2 hours wait one way, another 2 hours on the way back. So 4 hours, that doesn't make sense. So we already built the new Ring Road 3 that's about to complete. The road that connects to our area has been expanded. We'll be completing very soon. We also propose the metro line, and that would be starting this year. So we'll cut short the commuting time, transportation time, time to the port, right? So we are in the infrastructure developer. That's what we do to make sure that when you reach to our companies, when you are there, it's easier for you to do businesses, right? And easier for you to connect to your clients. Now that's a mega project. For all of you here, what can we start? So please come and talk to me or Ms. Duyên here. She's my colleague in the R&D Institute. Please reach out to us to see if we can help you to engage with our partners, our clients in our industrial parks. So these are a few companies that we are working with very closely. We do have a lot more, 2,000 more companies for you to access, right? So work with us like what we have done with Gradient. We will not only touch the surface. One of the problems that companies, they are hesitated when they adopt technologies is that they don't know where to start. They don't know their current status of their company. What technology should they invest? How is it relevant and how is it contributing to their overall goal? So we know that, we know it is hard. So when we reach out to companies, we will not only just come and say hi and then we go back, right? So we provide assessment framework. So we would bring in the Smart Industry Readiness Index developed by EDB from Singapore, run by Insight, an independent assessment framework provider. We would run that from our university. We, of course, make sure that all of the data we collect from these companies are confidential, but we would be able to share some of the insights with you, helping you approach these companies in a better way, a little bit more targeted approach. So that would be something that we can do, right? The second one is in case you would like to be a part of our mega project, where we do have the centralized IT park, where we do have a lot of subsidies, a lot of sponsors and supports, not from Becamex and from the government. Please come and join us. Put your facility there. We have Gradient there. ACE has been there with us for 2 years, right? And I think they are doing very well. Thank you, Mr. King, for the collaboration. So we're looking forward to having more of you coming and joining with us, right? So that would, apart from that R&D campus, we have the Saigon Innovation Campus. We are converting the administrative building into an R&D center. We can bring in companies, do your demo, product demonstration, and so on, so on, so. We do have our metro line connecting to our area that will be built very soon. Okay, so please come and join with us. These are some of the projects that we're working on. Converting the admin building, building New Sands Park, doing digitalized technology zone, and a large area for Saigon Innovation Campus. Some are, happening. Some we are planning, but the pipeline is very clear. The plan is very clear. We are looking forward to having you to come and allowing us to support you in scaling your business up. With that, thank you very much. I would take some questions if the time allows. If the time doesn't allow, I will see some of you during lunch for discussing further. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kieu.